OpenAI. Okay, OpenAI is a conversation. I don't know how much you're following ChatGPT or not.
No.
In 6 weeks, these guys have gone from zero in valuation to now being a $29 billion company, give or take.
Okay.
In 6 weeks. And so in 2 years, it took Facebook 2 years to get to 1 million users. It took Instagram 2 years to get to 1 million users. It took Pinterest 5 months to get to 1 million users. It took Angry Birds 34 days to get to 1 million users. It took ChatGPT 5 days to get to 1 million users. Every other hour when you're on ChatGPT, the website's shut down because of the amount of activity.
Mm-hmm.
So you haven't used the app yet, right? You haven't looked at
I know about it.
the website. Yeah. So what are your thoughts about the direction we're going with AI and things like ChatGPT, and what else you see this thing going to? I know you made predictions on the Rogan show where you said, here's some of the predictions I heard, cancer, this, driving, all that stuff.
Designed to be shown that I would be wrong in 30 years.
Sure.
They were not, here's my crystal ball, it's all going to happen.
Right.
In my chapter of the book, I spent pages upon pages showing how people's predictions at the beginning of a 30-year period had no meaning at the end of a 30-year period, going from 1870 to 2020. And so I said, so that you don't think I'm just being mean to other futurists, I will join this exercise so that in 30 years you can tell me how wrong I am. That was where that came out. But I would say that we can be impressed with what AI is doing, and we should be. And so I don't have a problem with that. But were you worried? What point are you making about this?
No, because there's the debate right now. Actually, I'm very neutral on this. I love advancement. I love innovation. I'm excited about it. But this morning I'm having my CEO call with our C-suites, and I'm talking to our CTO, who is a guy that's done very well for himself. He's sold companies. He's been part of companies being acquired by IBM for $700 million. He's done very well. So I said, so what do you think about this whole concept of ChatGPT? Because the other day, I don't know if you can go to it, see if it's working, the website's working right now or not. The connection is secure or not. Proceeding. Okay, it's down right now. It's often down. But Saturday, we're here shooting a video. And I said, write a 1,000-word paper on the Iranian Revolution in Donald Trump's voice.
Okay.
It wrote the paper.
Sure.
I said, write a hip-hop song by Tupac on the subject of this. If Tupac was alive today, it wrote the song. If this was live right now, what I would want to do is to ask a unique question of Neil deGrasse Tyson, what would you ask him to show? So this is kind of like the best explanation is you go to a library. Google is, I'd like to read books on the subject of the Big Bang Theory. Here's 273 books. Versus this one, you go to this library and say, I would like you to write a paper for me in 7th grade level, 1,000 words on the Big Bang Theory. No problem. In 10 seconds, here's your paper.
Yeah.
That's what this thing does.
Yeah.
So copywriters, gone. This can write code. This can write rap songs. This can write lyrics. This can write papers. This can write anything to the point.
Wait, just to be clear, I don't think it can write music yet.
It can write
notes.
rhymes.
No, it can't write notes.
I didn't say notes. Words.
Okay.
Like if you want to do hip hop or. By the way, can you do me a favor? Go to UK education and type in ChatGPT. Okay.
So what's this going to eliminate?
Well, no, but what
creative
is
thought?
your concern? What is your concern?
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. I'm not concerned about it.
What are other people's concerns?
A lot of people's concern is it's going to replace jobs for copywriters. A lot of Silicon Valley people, like, for example, the story that came out with New York Times. Type in New York Times, GBT, and then put code red. New York Times, GBT, code red. Okay, so this is a recent article right there. A new chat bot is a code red for Google search business. Okay, a lot of people are talking about how this new wave of chatbot like ChatGPT using AI could reinvent or even replace traditional internet search engines.
Okay, so what's your point?
I'm excited.
Okay.
That's what they're saying. Okay. I think that's exciting.
I would say, by the way, and one time I tweeted this, I said, people who cheat on exams do so because the system values your grade more than the student values learning. Okay? So if we're worried that people will create a paper in whatever, oh, there it is, thank you. You found it.
2013.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've been at this. Thank
About
you.
to be the 10-year anniversary of that
It's
thought.
because our school system values grades more than students value learning.
That's such a powerful tweet.
Yeah. So the point is, why would you cheat at all?
Right.
If it's only to get a grade so that the school system thinks more highly of you. When being in school is about learning.
Yeah.
And so if you have the AI bot create your papers, you didn't learn a thing, but you got the grade. This is the problem we began with here in this conversation. The value we put on a grade is out of proportion with who and what you actually are and become in life. So yeah, you can submit papers like that, fine. But you'll be an idiot at the end of your school. You'll get a degree because you fooled the system, but did you fool yourself? Mm-hmm. Did you fool your life? No, you don't. You didn't. And here's another point. Guessing on an exam, okay? Yeah, that works sometimes, okay? Because you might be right. But guessing in real life just shows your ignorance. Period. If you don't know something, say, I don't know. I want to go find out. I've asked people questions. Who knows what the third? And they'll say, "Well, let me guess." It was no. If you know it or you don't, the urge to guess was because of school multiple choice tests. If you don't know the answer, then guess, and then maybe you'll be right, and then we'll think highly of you for guessing the right answer. No, I'm an educator. I care that you learn stuff. And yeah, if the chat bot makes people think you're smart even though you're not, who benefits from that? I don't know.
How much you think that translates into whether it's current events, politics, global affairs, where it's like, well, I think this, da-da-da. And we famously interviewed Philip Mudd, former CIA. He said, it's not about what you think, it's about what you can prove, the facts. So that everyone has an opinion these days, and everyone can tweet their opinion. How do you grapple that thought process with?
I like opinions. I have nothing wrong with opinions, provided they're not based on objectively false knowledge. Then it's a malformed opinion. And you should think to yourself, if there's something flawed about my opinion, I should be in a position to change it. And if not, then once again, you've ossified into a point of view and truth doesn't matter to you, and fine, go live in a cave somewhere. But that is not the seeds of an informed democracy or the seeds of a civilization that needs to become better shepherds of its own decisions and its own inventions and its own plight in the future of civilization. So I see AI as a helpful tool when you can't otherwise get something done as well as you could. But not as a replacement for your own learning. I don't see that.
You don't think you think AI will ever replace you?
Some tasks of mine, for sure.
What will it not replace?
What will it not replace?
What will it not replace? Specific to you. I'm specifically talking to Neil deGrasse Tyson. What can you do that AI in the future won't be able to replace?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's possible that AI will replace everything about me. That's entirely possible.
Yeah.
However, tomorrow I might go to the Bahamas and meet someone new. The AI didn't do that. That person might give me new insights in my life. That didn't happen to the AI. I will have new thoughts because of that experience than the AI had. So the AI will be frozen with whatever was my last published searchable content on the internet. If I have thoughts that I write down by hand and they're not on the internet,
right,
and I have enlightened ideas, the AI will not be able to track that unless I post it online, which I might then do. Then it'll catch up with me. They're fine.
Do you think everything under the sun has been thought of and written about online?
No, of course not. Oh
Okay.
my gosh, of course not.
Okay.
New ideas are not yet online. So I'd like to see AI invent new understandings of the laws of physics. I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, you know what? That's a good way of think about it. I that makes sense because meaning human beings working together in a collaborative way invent things. AI hasn't independently yet invented something big.
But people who claim that general AI will one day arrive there, and okay, fine. But here's something else I'll say.
Sure.
On the back of my phone is a section of Van Gogh's The Starry Night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You could tell AI to paint something in the style of Van Gogh of this scene, and they'll do it. But you can't tell AI to be Van Gogh in the first place.
Does it need to?
Yes.
Why?
Because that's the style that Van Gogh pioneered. So you get my point. So it's not going to be Van Gogh. It can ape the style of Van Gogh because it has data on that. It doesn't have data on something that hasn't happened yet. This painting had not happened before he painted it, and his entire style of painting had not really happened. Yes, it's impressionist, but his is distinct. Is the AI going to give me something distinct that no one has happened yet that isn't aping anybody else's style? Maybe that day will come, and maybe we'll praise it, but that we're not there yet.
What if that day comes? What becomes boring? What becomes useless? What becomes a waste of time? What happens to life? What happens to ambition? What happens to you know what I'm saying? What happens
if AI does everything? Then we all go to the beach and play.
What a boring life.
No. You can still write books. You can still do things. You
Whatever
can still is AI going to do this podcast? No. AI is not going to be you.
Right.
So I don't fear AI. People say, well, it'll become our overlords, and turn us into their pets. In the mind and body chapter of the book, I comment that if we treat our pets royally, our cats and dogs, you will step over a homeless person in the street to go home and feed your pet. Okay, this is what in America, this is what we do. So if that's the case, then maybe if AI becomes, or some alien intelligent species becomes our overlord and makes us their pets, maybe they will treat us much better than we treat ourselves.
I think a natural question would be what everyone asks is like, are robots and computers and technology ever going to replace humans in this?
They already have. How many farmers did we need 100 years ago to produce the crops that they did relative to today? You can go your whole life living in a city and never even meet a farmer. Yet most people in the 1800s had a profession that was somewhere involved in the farming or the food production industry. So, machines are doing that. Machines are doing the irrigation, talking to satellites that measure the moisture content of soil, knowing when to irrigate. We have machines machines are doing everything. This is not some new weird thing. Yeah, with every next wave, you'll lose some jobs. Yeah, there are no buggy whip manufacturers today. No, there's not. Take a look at a phone. I did this growing up, the Yellow Pages. I looked at the Yellow Page. I used to keep them for every 5 years. You look at them, and I'm old enough to remember, in 1965, 1970, 1975, 1980. As we entered the 80s, computing companies started showing up relative to other companies that were disappearing from the Yellow Pages. And how many people are employed in IT when that number 40 years ago was 0? So I don't lament the loss of jobs, but you have to be flexible enough to move with that ascending frontier of science and technology and civilization, and who's getting paid to do what. If you're a parent, 20 years ago, the kid says, I want to be a YouTube influencer. You say, what the hell, kid? Kid, shut up.
Yep.
Get a life, kid.
Get a life, kid. All right, now they're YouTube influencers that out-earn everybody who's walked into this building. Okay? So, and that's a job unthinkable 15 years ago. But it's a job today. So I don't lose sleep over any of this.
Are you making?
There's a difference. There's a difference because this is. I'll give you this perspective, and then you give me.
Wait,
yours.
You're not going to tell me it's different this time. Is that really? You're going to tell me that really? You're going to say
no?
This time it's
not
different?
At all. Not at all.
Did you read the book, the economics book? This time it's different.
No, I have not.
But that book? It's every time there's an economic collapse.
Yeah, but this one's
time is different.
So here's a question for you.
It's all the same.
Here's a question for you. So let's just say you're playing in this playground in Venice Beach basketball. You're the sickest basketball player in Venice Beach, and everybody comes to watch you.
You have COVID.
This is just kidding. This is during COVID. You're killing it. Nobody is there.
No,
so you're only playing by yourself.
Sickest. Sorry, I was just trying to be funny.
Well, we go to COVID right afterwards. Okay. But so you're the best basketball player at Venice Beach. Everybody comes to watch you on Sundays. And Joe, girls are like, oh my gosh, Joe, you're great, da-da-da-da-da. And they're fantastic. And then all of a sudden, these 5 guys show up and they play in the NBA. And they show up and you play against them and they embarrass you. You don't score a single point. They dunk on you. All of a sudden, those same girls that were like, oh my God, Joe, they forgot what your name is. Okay?
Yeah.
You're replaced by 5 guys that can do it better than you. So the only thing is about ChatGPT, can it replace that Joe who's been fantastic? Now he is being replaced by AI that he used to be important. Now he's just a guy that was very smart and famous 15 years ago.
Yeah, so you take on something else. Stay flexible enough to shift what your job ambitions are in the possibility that you could be replaced by a machine. I have an example. I personally knew a calligrapher who drew the letters in a dictionary, the opening letter, because the dictionary, you start out, you get to like the letter G. Well, the first entry in a dictionary in the G's is the letter G. All right. And so that was a calligraphy thing. That was hand done for many, many years. And the company said, we need you to make a template of this. Okay. Which she did because she was on staff. She was on payroll. And then they scanned it and then she was laid off. So, okay. Yeah, that's sad. But, look for other jobs that are arising. There are more jobs. Think about it. There are 330 million people in this country. And 20 years ago, there were 200 million or whatever the numbers were. The point is, all these new people who didn't exist back then have jobs today. The job market has grown in all kinds of dimensions, in all kinds of ways. Be aware of that. That's why you should never take job advice from your parents.
Why? They're stuck in the old days?
They don't have any idea what's coming around. Yeah, in the old days, you could take job advice from them because things didn't change on a time scale that would matter between high school and college. But right now, no, it's like getting car advice from your father. You would never do that. They would
Hear that, Mom? What's your calligrapher friend do?
I haven't been.
What's she doing now?
I haven't caught up with her.
Best guess. What do you think she's doing?
Don't know. But she'd be retired now. But yeah, don't know.
So are you making the case for or against Andrew Yang's famous UBI experiment?
So UBI is an interesting solution to this. If AI is making all the money, then, put it into the system. I would say that there might still be things humans figure out to do that AI doesn't really know how to do yet and has to be trained or get better at it or whatever. So I don't know that UBI, it's an intriguing idea. It's completely intriguing. And you know what I think? AIs can't build the bridge, okay? Or erect that's a long time coming before that happens. What I think we should do is we should double down on the maintenance and modernization of our infrastructure. Those are actual human jobs with tractors and, maybe AI can build a prefab home with construction bots. But unique structures that are on a hillside, those are human beings. Those are actual construction workers. Is an AI bot going to come in and fix your plumbing? I don't see that happening yet. But if you do, you got to give them a butt crack. Tape it onto the back.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.